Alright, welcome everybody. We are going to do a redo of the video that explained how carpet cleaners, aka Roombas, work on PVC. This design was made by my good friend Mayo, and a lot of map artists on PVC have adapted this design. And it seems to work very well for clearing specifically carpet map areas. So I'm going to explain how they work and how to fix them. So the best way to explain them is to cut them into pieces to show you what pieces do what. So anything behind these barrels, which this is currently in the resting position. This is where it stays when you're doing map art, and when you're ready to clear it, you just move it over, and it takes all the carpets off for you. This front part, where you've got the 4 sticky pistons, let's see. So this is a module. Your module is 8 blocks wide, and you have a total of 8 sticky pistons, and 2 observers on this front piece. This is your remover, this is your cleaner. This is what takes the carpets out. You're never going to have to touch this. Now, here is your second part of the machine. This observer to the side specifically connects to this piston, just like this observer connects to this piston. They're what move your cleaner section. If you're ever disconnected and need to move them together, that is what you would put a button on. As for this one, this is your backwards. This is if you want to go back to your resting position. So if you have everything else ready, it's ready to go, you would put your button on that one. Now, this last section here is your broom. I would call this your broom. You've got these 2 observers that control these 2 pistons that pull your broom or rake along to take the carpets all the way over to the collection area. And you might have to mess with those observers if your rake becomes disconnected from the rest of it. And on this piece is also your starter, which if you have a proper setup, you should only have to press a button, but if the buttons are for whatever reason not working, you can also flip this trapdoor and it will start your remover. It will start the Roomba all the way across. Now, to recap, we have the cleaner, and this is your section right here. It's these 2 rows. And then you have your kind of your mover. This is just like your connector. It's what connects the rake and the cleaner. And it also contains the way to move your machine backwards. And lastly, you have your rake area that also includes your observer that moves it forward. So now that we have kind of shown you that, I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do if your machine stops. Now, keep in mind that you have to follow your machine. If it gets out of visual distance, it will stop. So I will demonstrate this now. I'm just going to let it go. And I'm not going to follow it. So it should break maybe about where the beacon is. And I will go and show you how to fix it however you want it to go. This machine is a very simple fix. It shouldn't take very long to fix. Oh, there it goes. It seems I don't have my buttons, so I'm going to run over and get buttons. Okay. So I have the buttons now, and here is our classic break. It appears it's all scrunched up. You should always have a space, either between this piston and this observer, or between this piston and the rake. If you want it to go forwards, you are going to want to place a button on this one to move that piston, and a button on this one to move that piston. And then you would go onto the top and put a button on this top piston. This is your starter piston, or not piston, observer. And it should start these two right here. Now, let's say you want it to go backwards. You didn't mean for it to go forwards in the first place. Then, you would want to go and put two buttons there, so that you've got that good space here. And then a button there. And it goes right back, just like magic. Now, another word of caution. If you happen to be clearing carpet and you choose to do more than 2 modules, 4 modules. If you choose to do more than 4 modules at a time, I warn you, you could lose carpets to despawn. It's very hard to make a collection system that collects 16,000 at once. And it's just overall not worth it for the lag. So I typically do 4 modules at once, and that's why I have these sectioned off into fourths. So I will do a fourth of the map at one time. So just for visual sake, I will also show you how this works, and that'll be it. So if I were to clear my section, I would go off to the side here, I'd turn on hitboxes, and I would just follow this corner. I followed all the way through. You see the cleaner part is taking out the carpets. This mover is moving it along and pulling the rake behind it to capture most of the carpets. It will miss some on the sides. No matter what you do, it will miss some on the sides. So that's why I follow it all the way through when I am doing the carpet removal. And as soon as it gets to the collection canal, I will then follow it back because there are some on the other side that need to be collected. Now, if you are working on a map with 2 people, you could have one person going down one side and one person going down the other to capture all the carpets. You could also kind of run back and forth, but this is just how I do it. So the carpets will go in there, and they'll go around the water carousel down there until all of the hoppers collect them. And now, when you get over here, just like I pressed the button to start it, you would actually press 2 buttons for this one. We have 2 separate buttons, although it looks like my machine stopped. but you gotta keep this machine in render distance. See, this is something that can happen sometimes. This server specifically can have some issues with redstone machine stopping. So you don't have to get very far away for it to stop sometimes. I don't believe I got too far away from this when it originally stopped. But I should be good to go and collect the carpets here. And I just let it go. And here is a perfect opportunity to show you how the carpet remover can be fixed going forward. So previously, in order to make it go backwards, we put 2 buttons on these 2 back observers to move the rake back so we get that extra space, and then we put it on this one. Now, for this one, we want to move it forward. So we want to give some extra space between the cleaner and the mover. And since this is 2 modules, we have to do it for both of them. So we've got there's space for both of these figured out, so now we would go and put a button on there. And before it gets too far away, put another button on there. And that should be it. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I hope this helps.